Minecraft has a game mode called hardcore, and if you die, well, yeah, you lose everything. But despite this, I've always wanted to create my own hardcore series and wanted to do it legit, as most of my survival worlds usually came down to no! Let's go! So in this video, I'll be surviving my first ever 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. And as in all hardcore Minecraft videos, I've set myself some goals that I like to complete, but that's for later. Also, this video took 80 plus hours to complete, and I would really appreciate it if you watch the whole video, as it helps out a lot. And with that said, let's get right into it. So I started my 100 days journey in a taiga biome. I did the basics such as gathering wood and stone, and of course, I made sure to introduce myself to the local wildlife and gather some food. And I suppose now is a good time to tell you about my goals I have planned for this video. My first goal is to get fully enchanted diamond tools and armor, and that means with protection 4 on breaking 3 and mending for all the armor, and efficiency 5, sharpness 5, and so on for all my tools. My second goal is to get a beacon. My third goal is to get a supply of totems, and my fourth goal is to build a pretty cool starter house. I also have a bonus goal that I would like to complete since this is the 1.21 update, and that is checking out all the new mobs, building with the new tough and copper blocks, and getting myself a mace. Anyway, most of day 1 was just spent running around chopping down trees and gathering food. I found one of the new dog types while running around, but more importantly for my survival, I found some coal and iron at the top of a mountain I had climbed, which was good as I didn't have enough wool for a bed and it was turning night. But before it turned night, I hollowed out a little hole in the mountain and cooked up all my food and iron. After my iron was done cooking, I used it to make a chest plate, leggings, pickaxe, axe, and shield. And with that done, that completes the goal I just made up right now. I set out on day 2 with the intentions of finding a village, as villagers are the easiest way to get stacked in early game. There were some useful things I found, like this ruined portal, which wasn't actually useful at all. But I did find a cherry blossom biome, which is useful because I'm going to use cherry wood in my starter house. Unfortunately, I did not find a village on day 2, but I found a pillager outpost, so I decided to spend the night there. So I climbed to the top, made a bed, and went to sleep on day 2. Day 3, I woke up fresh and ready to continue my search for a village, so I packed up my gear and headed out. And a few steps later, I found not 1 but 2 villages, which I should have known were there because pillager outposts spawn close to villages. So I went to the village closest to the mountain for reasons you'll see later on, and started kindly borrowing everything the villagers owned. Then after borrowing the villager stuff, I saw an enderman and decided to challenge him with my stone sword. And for those of you who don't know the power of a stone sword, it is roughly equivalent to a gray pump in Fortnite. And with my all-powerful sword in hand, I started the battle. And after that intense battle with the Enderman, it dropped me one of its nice shiny pearls. I didn't do anything else for the rest of day 3, but on day 4 I flattened a piece of land that would eventually become a town market. And right behind that, I built a sheep farm because I need a bit of wool for the builds I'm going to be making. And before it turned night, I placed all the beds from the village into a central area, as I would need a bunch of villagers to get that fully enchanted armor. On day 5, I prepared a bunch of resources for a trip to the mines where I intend to collect enough diamonds for a full suit of armor and tools. And so the next day I set out to find a good cave to mine in, which didn't take too long. So I headed down into the mines, collecting any resources I found. And probably like 5 minutes after entering the caves, I found my first diamonds. Yes, first diamonds of the world, let's go. And after that first vein of diamonds, I found a second vein on the wall right behind it. Oh, what is that I hear? A mining montage? Well, let's see it. At one point, I debated going down into this little crevice, but it turned out to be a great idea. Wow, this cave is huge, bro. Eventually, I got enough diamonds for a diamond pickaxe and mined enough obsidian for a nether portal and an enchanting table. And after a successful mining trip, I emerged from the caves on day 8. Eventually, I made it back home and put all my loot in a chest. In total, I collected 39 diamonds and a bunch of other ores, so I'd say that was a successful mining trip. On the morning of day 9, I found a pink sheep which I have never actually found before, so I decided to bring it home with me and build it a grand house later. Also, let me know what I should name it in the comments. And I practically wasted day 9 doing useless things like farming these puny little green things. Anyway, on a more exciting note, on day 10, I used those diamonds I had mined to make myself a suit of diamond armor and tools. Hey bruh, I'm looking fresh with this armor. 2 of those diamonds went to an enchanting table because I want to temporarily enchant my gear and upgrade it later. And it was around day 11 that I decided to go to the nether to get some blaze rods and nether wart, so I built a portal and hopped in. Oh look, I finally got a peaceful spawn after what happened in my last survival world. Nope. What? How? Okay, maybe it was just a single ghast. But I did get my revenge though by deflecting a fireball. Yo, I'm him for that, bruh. And guess what? You would have never guessed that bro was actually not him. Because later when I was trying to change my fog settings, I accidentally threw out my diamond pick. No! So I had to go back home and make a new pick, but on the plus side, when I went to enchant it, I got efficiency 2, so now I can insta-mine netherrack. I went back to the nether in search of the fortress, but I came across the bastion, which is good, I guess, as I can find a nether upgrade template. Get out of here, pig. Yeah, that's what you deserve. Oh, that guy scared me so bad. Oh my word. After that encounter with the piglin brute, I was more careful watching out for enemies. A few chests later, I found the nether upgrade template I was looking for, then set out again in search of a fortress. And after a bit of walking, I found one and made my way to the blaze spawner where I quickly collected enough blaze rods. I came out with a grand total of 12 blaze rods, but before I went home, I made sure to grab some nether wart for potions. Days 14 through 23 were spent gathering enough resources for the ender dragon fight, as I wanted to get an elytra as fast as possible so I can start building my starter house. Also, something crazy happened on day 16. I witnessed Thor himself strike lightning. Then I killed him and didn't think much about it until... Did that zombie just revive himself? Nah, that's crazy, bruh. On day 17, I decided to make a simple raid farm to gather totems safely and check them off my goal list.
Why?
You may ask. Well, it's because totems really come in clutch when your health is low, and I don't want to risk a regular raid. But I'm sure I won't even need totems, like, I'm not that bad. Anyway, I continued building the raid farm through day 17, and after a few learning experiences, it was working fine. Okay, I drank the bottle, and wait, isn't the raid supposed to start? What? Oh my, I'm so stupid, bro. I forgot the trapdoors. Oh my, he's stuck, bro. Why? Okay, there's no way this is real, bro. What in the world is going on? Eventually, I got the raid farm working and put my learning experiences behind me. It was worth it though, as I got 8 totems out of that raid, completing my goal. Days 18 through 19, I collected some stuff I needed for end city raiding, like mending and unbreaking for the elytra, food, fireworks, and a few other things. And on day 20, I threw my first Eye of Ender and set out for the stronghold. The Eye of Enders led me underground where I found some diamonds, and after digging around for a while, I found the stronghold. Yes, let's go. I spy you. Wait, what? I found a library while searching for the portal that had some pretty trash loot, but I did take the bookshelves for my enchanting table back home. After leaving the library, I ran around until I found the portal room. So I lit the portal, but before I jumped in, I made sure to link a nether portal back to my home portal for easy access. And of course, I said my final speech before I went in. Okay boys, it's day 23. And today is the day we make history. We fight to free the world of a dangerous foe, so we and our peaceful citizens can live in peace. We cannot die, but if we go down, at least we will go down with glory. And just like that, I defeated the dragon and freed the end. I covered up the portal so the dragon egg wouldn't fall into it, then collected the egg. Before I went out to the outer islands, I made sure to gather enough ender pearls for end city hunting. After collecting a bunch of pearls, I built up to the end gateway, but when I went through, I got the worst possible spawn I have ever had. What is this, bro? Why am I so far? I ended up having to pearl across, which almost ended my hardcore world right there. Oh my, that was way too close. No. And after running for a few hundred blocks, I eventually found a real end city. Because I hate those end cities that are just like so small that don't have anything in them. Eventually I made it to the end city and looted it, but it didn't even have anything good. So after that I went from end city to end city trying to find one that has a ship, but most of the end cities don't even have good loot. Like, look at this.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
And after almost losing my hardcore world many times over, I finally found an end city that has a ship. Oh, finally, bro, I finally found a ship. I climbed up to the end ship and got that elytra. Yes, let's go! I can be Superman now. So for the rest of my days in the end, I just flew around with my elytra, raiding any end cities I found, making sure to kill a bunch of shulkers for shells, looting any chest I found, and grabbing all the elytras. Then on day 27, after having collected tons of loot, I decided to head home. I started day 28 by sorting through all my loot. I wanted to build my starter house now that I had an elytra. I know, starter house, right? My material list isn't too long, but I have to get started soon so I can have time for my other projects later. The first material on the list is spruce wood, so I went to the nearby forest and cut down some trees for saplings, because I want to plant those 4x4 spruce trees as they produce the most wood. But at the end of the day, I kinda got distracted by stuff around my village like animals and crops, but when a creeper blew up all my chests, I knew I really had to start working on my house. So the next day, I started chopping down a bunch of spruce trees to collect the 14 stacks of logs I needed. And that should be all 14 stacks of wood collected. Now the next two biggest materials on my list is deep slate and tuff. I need 15 stacks of deep slate and 4 stacks of tuff. Oh, quick side note, while I was collecting all the tuff and deep slate, I found one of the worst zombie spawners I've seen. It didn't even have any chests. Anyway, I finished collecting all the deep slate and tuff blocks I needed. So after I collected the two biggest materials on my list, I went through and crafted all the smaller resources, as well as gathering some of the resources that needed silk touch and stuff like strip logs and moss. One resource I needed a lot of was copper, because I wanted to use copper grates for windows in my house, but copper grates require 4 blocks of copper. Luckily I had a Fortune 3 pick, so it wasn't too much of a problem gathering it. And on day 47, after I had collected all the materials, I was ready to begin building my house. And after 5 days of hard work, this is the starter house complete.
What the hell you say?
Okay, I'm just joking. This is the real starter house. After the exterior was done, I did the finishing touches such as adding the decorations and moving all my stuff inside. I also brought my pink sheep to the house, and no, I didn't forget, I'm still gonna build a house for it. And after finishing my house, I decided it was good to take a break from building, so I went to the nether in search of ancient debris. And it didn't actually take me too long to find my first piece. But after that, I spent ages trying to find another piece of ancient debris until I realized I'm in a soul sand valley, which has a less chance of spawning ancient debris. So I made my way to a nether waste biome, and guess what? I was right. As soon as I got there, I started finding more ancient debris. And after stopping this lava flow like a complete pro— No, place blocks, blocks.
Nice.
I got home and crafted up a nice shiny netherite ingot. Then I promptly smacked it on a diamond hoe, which I promptly named Pickle Sickle. Now don't you judge me for wasting one of my netherite ingots, you'll see why I did that later. But going back to the nether reminded me of one of my goals, to get a beacon, so I decided to go back to the nether and find a fortress to start killing wither skeletons. So in total, I had collected 9 wither skeleton skulls, which I can make 3 beacons from that. And as we all know, there's only one way to kill the wither. Okay, I'm just kidding. I would never, ever do that. Okay, so what I actually did is just dig a really long tunnel and spawn the withers inside. And after victoriously defeating the wither with my bare hands, I got home and crafted up 3 beacons. Then I went to mine some iron, as I thought the best way to power the beacons is to mine a bunch of iron with my Fortune 3 pick. Unfortunately, I did not have enough iron for a full powered beacon, but it'll have to do for now. Now that completes my goal of getting a beacon. So now the only building left to do is to tear down the existing village houses and build my own village. Now, the plan for the village is to build houses around here. And in the middle is going to be my marketplace, which is where I'm going to trade with villagers. And on the outskirts, I want a big area for crops where I can build a windmill. And lastly, I want a few fishing spots and maybe a dock if I have time. Now, obviously the first thing I did is clearing all the houses in my village. I also did a bit of terraforming to make the land more flat, as well as cover up caves and little crevices. The village required way more resources than my starter house, but luckily I had a bunch of spruce saplings, so wood wasn't a problem. For deep slate and tough, I just brought the beacon underground and hollowed out a big area so I can collect them pretty quick. Also, you won't believe this, I was just mining for tough and I naturally ran into tough bricks. And if you don't know tough bricks, that's the outside of a trial chambers. Like, I don't know how lucky that is, but that's insane. So I marked down the coordinates so I can come back here later. So after gathering the rest of the resources for the village, I just crafted up a few things, then began to build. Also, I wanted to say just as a disclaimer that I did not design all these village houses by myself. But out of all of them, I did design 3. And those are the town hall, the blacksmith, and this tower looking house, which I think is pretty cool. And after I was done building all the village houses, I went around the village putting in little decorations like paths, lampposts, and stuff like hedges and rocks. I also put a little garden in the village, which I think looks pretty cool. I also worked on expanding the wheat farm as I wanted to eventually make it cover most of the area. On day 76, I wanted to go to that trial chambers I had found earlier to get myself a mace and maybe one of those new music discs. But get this, while I was preparing all my stuff in my house, out of the corner of my eye, I noticed an intruder. And we all know what happens to intruders. After I was done preparing, I headed to the trial chambers where I was immediately thrown into action. I was actually really disappointed after that first room because all I got was potatoes and carrots until I realized it was a whole nother part of the trial chambers, which, yeah, I don't know why I didn't know that. After defeating a few spawners, I finally got an ominous key and I got a music disc after that, which is pretty cool. But get this is insane. The first ominous vault I opened, look at what it dropped. Okay, so how does this work? You put the key in and... Wait, what? Oh... Okay, I kind of wish that would happen, but it didn't. I probably opened like 6 or 7 ominous vaults and all of them dropped like pretty okay loot, but I was really looking for a heavy core. I ended up looting the whole trial chambers and leaving with pretty decent loot. Unfortunately, I didn't get a heavy core, but I'll have to come back later. I set out on day 81 on my quest to find some of the new dog types. 2 of the main dog types I want to find is the snowy variant, which is probably my favorite, and the wooded variant, which I saw in the beginning of this video. So I grabbed a bunch of fireworks and started flying around. And I think at some point while flying around, I decided to turn Minecraft's music on. And just flying like that, listening to the music, it reminded me of when I played Minecraft as a kid. Having fun exploring, killing zombies, and of course, dying. And I think that's the real beauty of Minecraft. A game with no rules and infinite possibilities. Hey, you still there? The 100 days isn't even over yet, so don't get all sad and weepy. Day 91, I decided to go back to the trial chambers to try to get a mace again. This time I brought an ominous 5 bottle because last time I brought an ominous 4 bottle and it didn't really give me that much luck, so I don't really know if this changes anything, but I did it anyway. And I think it worked because I was getting way more ominous keys this time. And I think in total I got about 3. And remember, I only had 3 ominous keys from the whole trial chamber. I didn't even have any regular keys. So I opened the vaults one by one. The first had a god apple, the second had absolute garbage, but the third, and I'm not even joking bruh, literally with the last key I had, I opened the vault and guess what? I got it bruh, the heavy core at last. Oh my, let's go! So with the heavy core in hand, I headed home and crafted up a mace. Okay, let me put that there and that there, and oh, look at it. Yo, that looks so cool, but wow, that's so cool. Then I slapped some enchantments on the mace. I have no idea if it's good or not, but I'll take it. I tested the mace on some golems and it's so satisfying the sound it makes when you hit something. Now that completes my goal of getting a mace. By day 97, I had basically completed everything I wanted to besides one thing, and that is getting fully enchanted diamond armor. So I traded with my clerk villager for bottles of XP, which I used to combine mending and unbreaking books and put those on my armor. Now that all my goals were completed, I played around for the last few days. Okay, let me see if I can do this mace clutch. I Okay, that sucks. Oh, that sucks so bad. Just cut that out of the video. Day 99, I moved my beacon above ground so I can make it full powered. So I used a bunch of extra diamonds, emeralds, and iron to build all the levels of the beacon. And of course, the beacon itself. Yo, let's go, Beaconator! And now, all my goals are completed on day 99. Alright boys, it is day 100. Let's go. I started off the day by greeting all my animals and friends. Hello, Tony. Oh, hi, Bob. Nice to see you, Jim. Yes, hello. I forgot your name. Sir, who are you? What are you doing here? Wait, hold on a sec. There we go. Okay, guys, I freed you from the big monster. I also took my dogs and went to visit one of my old friends. Well, hello, Bob. How are you doing? Nice morning, isn't it? Okay, I'll leave now. I also walked through my entire town. It just looks so good with shaders, bro. After walking through the village, I also flew above the village and it just looks so good from a distance. Before the sunset, I retried that clutch I did with the mace earlier, but this time I was gonna make it. Okay, this has to be high enough. Okay, let's see, I'm going down. Please make it. Yes, let's go! Oh my word. That was so easy. Also, it's not like that took me 6 tries or anything. And as the sun set on day 100, I placed down a cake and played my favorite disc to celebrate surviving my first 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. I really enjoyed these 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. If you did too, make sure to hit that subscribe button as I'm trying to grow my small YouTube channel. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one.